task, right? And then I went over to weapons where I did my Simon Says task, right? Naturally. And then and I took it from there, and then I killed Blue. I mean, I helped Blue find shields, and then then a dead body was reported. Yeah, no, I actually saw Lime's vent.
Are we just sharing all our stores now?
That's bullshit. I didn't.
Just kind of dick, so.
I didn't fucking see you.
What are we doing anymore?
I love your hair.
What are you talking about? I was there. I didn't see you at all.
Yeah, he vented. Because Melantha vented, guys. Listen,
No, I did not. I swear to God, I saw you.
He vented. He actually vented.
Kill him. It's self-reported.
Alright. So...
I believe Turkey here on this one.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, someone with common sense.
I also agree with Turkey. I think
someone.
That's why your mama dead.
I want to make you laugh, but everyone
Listen. I'm gonna...
I question my existence. I question my existence.
Alright, listen.
Yeah, well,
I'll bring it home. I'll bring it home with this one statement. If
you want an answer to your existence, it's that you don't exist.
I'll take that as an answer.
I know some of you do still be suspicious of me, and that's okay. But you know what? I'll help you guys believe me in just one simple sentence. Dr. Pepper Pizza Poppers. Thank you.
I want to make you laugh. Get back here. I want to make you laugh. Get back here.
You know, I was thinking, right, guys, the other day. I was kind of thinking, Barnyard. It's quite the interesting movie.
Oh no, not this movie.
When you sit down, you sit down and you think about it, right? And Biggie Cheese, right? The big old rapper guy, right? I don't think he was cheese at all.
Hell is never.
I'm sitting.
It's just gone into remission.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm just sitting here thinking
stay afraid though, because we're gonna get you one of these.
Oh yeah.
We're always watching.
Yeah. I'm legitimately confused. Can someone please explain to me why his name is Biggie Cheese even though he isn't physically
because
cheese?
He's big and he's a rat, I guess.
I mean, that makes no sense though. He should be Biggie Rat. He should be Biggie Rat then, by that logic, shouldn't he? It makes no sense to me.
Oh, and libtard.
Mom.
You libtards believing in your rat.
Okay. Then by that logic, shouldn't we call all bunnies Biggie carrots? We're supposed to all call them Biggie carrots.
I'm not changing the name of his species. I'm just saying that his name is Biggie Cheese. Leave him alone.
We're calling every bee Biggie Flower. We're calling every single monkey Biggie Banana.
Eat flowers, eat honey, dum-dum.
Biggie Wax. Biggie Wax, there you go, Biggie Wax.
I don't like Biggie Wax.
Biggie
Wax.
Biggie Wax.
No, I don't like it.
Turkey
Stop.
is scary. I'm worried he'll kill us all if we vote.
Whoa. Are you trying to vote me off right now? Well,
I'm not.
I don't condone
I'm just explaining
buddy.
why we shouldn't vote you off the total drama.
Alright, listen. I'm not saying anything specific, but I have some friends.
That's why your mama did.
That know some other friends, and I would say you guys probably don't mess with me, just because of the fact that
it's the almighty
I have some connections.
You're
I have some connections, and I can have your, I can have your Steam account, changed into a Roblox account, all right, and like that.
Upgrades.
My dad is...
Upgrades people. See you need villainy.
The almighty Pootisburg.
I hope you know that I appreciate you as a person, but I still hate you.
Really? He has an alt account now?
Go. Please don't backstab me again.
Just burn.
You know, actually, that makes me thinking, right?
No,
you know,
don't just
Roblox,
burn.
you know, like Roblox.
Backstab.
It's a Lego game, right? It's like a game where there's Legos, right? And then you have, people that are Legos. And like, I'm thinking, right? I'm here thinking, right? And I'm like, man,
I don't want to kill him.
why are they not getting copyrighted by Lego, right? And then I'm sitting here realizing, wait a minute, they have circle Legos. So obviously they can't be sued by a square Lego company, right?
Problem is,
But then that
Lego
got me
also has
thinking.
circle Lego.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They also have circle. So I'm here saying like, who was the first
My
one to
brother is
create
raging in the
circle
background
Legos?
and I want him to die.
Nah, don't worry about it.
What?
So,
You throw the die.
so anyway, sorry,
In the
listen.
1800s by,
Okay.
Sir
Now the question is,
who was then burned at the stake for being a witch for.
very interesting. Very interesting.
Build the wall. Great wall.
Thank you.
Yo, I saw Turkey visit what's his name? Richard last night. Richard's dead.
Don't
So
worry
I
about
mean,
it. Don't worry about
I
it.
think Turkey's the mafioso.
Alright, so that's very compelling evidence, but he said don't worry about it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alright. Your Honor, don't worry about it.
Cool, not guilty, I guess.
Your Honor. What do you guys think? Guilty?
Your Honor, he did it for the vine.
Your Honor, do you consider the possibility that my client is simply built differently?
Alright,
Bananas are really interesting for it, because they're yellow. But when you think about it,
Yellow there.
you know how like our eyes can see certain colors, but other animals can see different colors. Like
My
certain
eyes can't
birds
see.
Can actually.
that's cool.
Well,
How come,
that's
like some
unfortunate.
animals can see colors I can't see?
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, like, what if bananas weren't
How
actually
much do
yellow?
I gotta pay EA for all the colors?
Nah, that's a good question. I think you gotta go to.
I'm shooting that every time I die. Oh my god. Oh my god. E.
Alright, so I was thinking, right? I was thinking here, right? What if we never
crap,
made up
watch
the
out, this
word
is a
what?
kill accident.
Like, what if we just forever existed as a society without the word what?
Buddhist
Like,
is
think
dead.
about how many sentences would never
no.
exist, how many conversations
You're a
would
corner.
have never existed if we didn't have the word what. Like, what are you eating? Or what are you reading? Or what?
How are you
Or what's the weather
How are you?
for today? Or
How are you?
what's your name? How are you? When are you?
They always ask who are you? They never ask who
Who are you? I imagine a world where, don't throw that Girardi. Alright, I imagine a world, right? I imagine a world. Come here. Let's talk about it. But oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Let's get you some health.
I didn't mean to
Let's
make
get
you
you
a
some
little.
health. There you
Sorry,
go.
now you're just gonna be a little spicy for still.
So anyway, I was thinking, right? Ow.
No, you weren't. You weren't thinking.
Alright, I was thinking.
I
Heck
can't
you.
confirm, does
Alright,
not
so
make.
listen. I was thinking, right? It's crazy how, like, when we try to think,
Hypothetically
our
speaking.
brains, like, know how to think. and they automatically go, and then you have a thought. Somehow, all the little guys in your brain go like, hey, let's have a thought. And then you think about eating the
Turkey, you just killed that man.
You know?
Turkey.
No, I didn't kill no one. What are you talking about?
I was swinging my sword, but
Listen, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
he's
All right,
dead.
Come along, gentlemen. I thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, so I was thinking, right, another thing I was thinking around, like, you know, time travel. And, like, Back to the Future and all that, they talk about how, like, you would affect the past and the future if you do anything in the past.
No, you shall not
right?
hurt the storyteller.
Now, like, like,
daddy
here's the
cringe.
thing, like, thank you, I appreciate it. So, like, I was thinking, right, like, why does it affect the past?
Your reign of terror will end today.
Like, here's the thing, like, why would it affect the past if it creates a new timeline? Like, technically, doesn't it just affect your past and no one else's past? Because, in theory, you're only making a new timeline. You know
This
what
is
I'm
now
saying?
the game theory, but only not game.
Yeah. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say Back to the Future Episode 1, right? They go to the past. Let's say Marty McFly, you know, his dad and his mom never got together, right? Like, by that theory, his siblings and he would never exist, right? But by that logic, wouldn't time have kept going on for that timeline, as well as the timeline that he was in when he left Hill Valley? At least in 1885, 1985?
Remember, your hell
You
is
know,
never
like,
gone.
Atlanta, where are you?
think about it, when you really think about it, all you're doing is creating a new timeline that alternate versions of yourself exist in. Versions of yourself
Wouldn't that
had made-
figure yourself
that
into
made-
existence?
No,
mean, out of existence?
timeline. No, just in that timeline. You see, you in another timeline would still exist. You would still keep existing as long as you aren't taking yourself out of that timeline. For example, going back in time. When you go back in time and you do something in the past, you're taking yourself out of your timeline, and instead you're making your own timeline. You see? I hope this is
Get the
making sense.
DeLorean
Am I
time
losing anyone?
machine.
And have I lost anyone so far?
No, you're making perfect
Not
sense.
at all.
Go on.
Alright, perfect.
You haven't lost me.
I think it's
I watched all 3 movies in Back to the Future.
There's another theory about time, Turkey. There's another theory about time that no matter what you do in the future, it doesn't, or in the past, it doesn't affect anything because that would have happened anyway because you already did that in the
Alright,
past.
no, okay, so
nothing
then here I have a theory for you about that, alright? I want you to imagine
Sniper, I
two,
like
let's say,
Sniper, just so you know,
let's
I really
imagine
like what you
there's an assassin, alright? There's an assassin, right? Let's imagine. Wait,
Please
please write a
write
book
it.
about I will, I promise. You know, I always thought about being a writer, but you know, like, I realized that I'm kind of
I never did.
dyslexic, so I don't think I'd be very good at
I don't
writing
think
books.
you should.
But like, so maybe, like, if there's a way to make like an audiobook where like you just speak for the entire time and someone writes the book for you,
It's called a
that'd be
podcast.
pretty cool.
That's called-
Also, hello,
that's
Spy.
called dictation.
Yeah.
We can, hire someone
that's
to do it.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Just do a
Talks
podcast
about
and
the
talk about
reason
random
for life.
stuff.
Oh, the reason
make
for
a podcast.
life. That's such a deep conversations podcast. It's a good idea.
Can I just build the wall, please?
The meaning of life. The meaning
Alright,
of
I'm lost.
life
I'm lost.
Is a very.
I don't know what to tell you.
Where did I lose you?
You guys
Where did
gotta
I
pay
lose you?
attention to the things he
Where did I
says.
lose you? Where did I lose you? Where did I lose you?
Honestly, I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, we'll go back to.
Me neither, man. Me neither.
We'll just start fresh. The meaning of
Joke's on
life.
you, I know how
The
to get
meaning
stuck in
of
the cactus.
life is the meaning of life is a very complicated topic, you know, just because of the fact that there are so many different lives in the world, you know. You have one guy who made Gravity Falls, you have another guy who
Yes.
dresses up as Jesus on Fiverr,
Why is the
you have
first
another
person
guy
going
who
there?
plays piano in the New York subway, you know, you have another guy, you know, it's like different choices lead you to different lives. This kind of wraps back to my conversation with time travel. You know, like every decision that you make in life leads you in a timeline of different reality for yourself, you know? And like it really gets you thinking, like, what is the meaning of life if every option leads you to a different choice and there really is never going to be a chance where you get quote unquote the perfect choice, since there's infinitely so many possibilities in your life that it's almost impossible, highly improbable, but I'm going to say mostly impossible, hypothetically impossible, to get, quote-unquote, the perfect ending, the perfect meaning of life. So really, the question isn't what is the end goal of life, but really, what is the goal throughout life, if that makes sense. And,
Low-key, am I the only one who's getting, like, some zing?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
And have I lost anyone so far?
Low-key, can I go on a vision quest?
That lost me at this point.
Sure.
You lost me when you started talking about popcorn.
Hypothetically, perfect world.
Listen, I'm not trying to give you guys existential crisis. I'm just trying to open your eyes, if that makes sense. Try to see it from a different point of view.
So many eyes. I've gone way past my trip. I can see everything that is, was, and ever will be.
You can hear colors now?
Yes.
Very good, very good. That means you're almost there. You're almost there. So, you know
I
what?
can smell
Maybe
them,
we should
too.
move the topic.
I don't like.
We should
I really don't like turquoise. It does not smell good.
turquoise. Turquoise smells
people
really bad.
actually
It looks
can
really
smell colors. Like apparently Billie Eilish
Me,
can
like,
smell colors.
it's like you can smell copper.
good. Actually,
Is it
I
called-
have
They can hear
something.
colors. My bad.
Billie Eilish is a very interesting topic. Billie Eilish is a special case because Billie Eilish, she's found a way to control her mood through the color of her clothing and her nails, which I find a very interesting trick and a very interesting trait.
Wait, she can do that? That's really interesting.
Yeah, well, when she
Yeah, that's
wears
crazy.
green,
It's like a diamond.
she's usually like envious or like with evil intent. When she wears something like blue, it's something more somber. Something red is something more like hardcore, if that makes sense. Boopins, I'm gonna let that slide. Next time, it's Roblox for you, pal. Alright, anyway. Like,
It's a really cool and interesting topic. But cause with all the memes aside, Billie Eilish can really have some good coloration in her music videos, which is really interesting.
yeah.
So I think what
going
she says
insane, or are
is
you
true.
guys
I
actually
think she
talking
can
about
do
something?
colors.
We've been talking this whole time. What are you talking
How
about?
do we get to the topic from the meaning of life to Billie Eilish? How did this happen?
No, it's not about Billie Eilish.
That's
It's
an
not about
interesting
Billie
topic.
Eilish.
That's
It's about the
actually a
effects
really
of color on our
Silence,
psyche.
child.
I'm
Everything
questioning my
actually a
existence
really
again.
interesting
Actually, no, I'm
topic.
not.
That's
That will
actually a
make you
really
not
interesting
exist in,
topic.
like, 2
Like, what in our brains connects colors to emotions? Like, for example, blue, we almost all connect it to either the sky, which is creativity, or sadness, mostly, commonly sadness, but it can also mean creativity for some. You have red, which usually means anger or hardcore, right? You have green,
Red
which
is a
usually
lot of
means
very stimulating color. It's a very stimulating
like
color.
oversaturation, usually, like overwhelming, right? And then you have something like magenta or magenta, I think is really, or purple, really like a more mellow type of feel to it.
Building
That
the
other
wall
colors I don't feel
is
like
purpose.
can have. And it's really interesting how I wonder if when people discovered these colors and they called them these colors, like calling blue, I really wonder if they decided to call them those names after the emotions that they felt by looking
No,
at them.
I doubt it. Or maybe.
But yeah, again, the question is
It's not gonna help.
what would have happened if the person who first discovered colors was colorblind? Or, in theory, what if the person who discovered colors, or, the majority of of society, is actually the people who are colorblind, and the people who are colorblind actually are the ones that see
Wrong is my
the
vision.
way it
I
is.
mean,
What if the color of
how do we know that my blue isn't your blue? How do I know that we
Exactly, and that's entirely valid.
Variation.
That's
Because
entirely valid, Cal.
it's all about perception of color.
That's entirely valid, Cal. Like, for example, let's say someone is, someone is red-green colorblind.
Two different perspectives of it. The blue-black one and the
Exactly.
white,
That's a
yellow.
very good point. Yes, that is a very good point.
This also
I
shows
truly
how
think.
how sometimes things are gray areas, but sometimes there's a right and wrong. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how
maybe
there
even
really
more
is.
morally.
Yeah. There really are some questions out there that there are no right or wrong answers to sometimes. Or there are some
Like,
that
Unless it's
appear
math.
as to not have a wrong answer. But there really is. Right? Which is a very dangerous trap in
Satisfying.
society,
No
believe it or
sap.
not.
No
You know.
Damn it.
But anyway, like, you
No
have,
sap.
like,
The funny.
yeah. Let's say you go through life, right? And there are decisions you make, right? Not put in the time traveling spiel because we already went through that. That's a topic we already covered.
Back to the future.
But no. We've already passed that point. But no, actually, I can make a point. Back to the future.
Back to the past.
Marty McFly, right? Marty McFly, right? He
Yes.
did not like being called a chicken, right? And whenever he was called a chicken, he would get very angry, right?
Yo, why
And-
Yes, I remember that.
about the
I watched the entire series. I remember that.
Yo, how do yeah, why you go?
Actually, I'm gonna detour the conversation and move it towards that topic. With Spawn Camp.
We're not even
It's interesting.
We're just building two dispensers outside one of them.
Actually, I just realized something about Back to the Future.
But is it town? What did you
Multiple
notice?
spawns. We're not going anywhere
But
else. We can just
what kind of place that holds plutonium does not have security cameras that will allow Doc to steal it without getting spotted? What kind of place does not have security cameras?
A place where the movie plot depends on it.
Well, this makes sense.
You guys talking about the
It's
Truman
interesting.
Show now?
This is an interesting question. This is very interesting. Are there instances in real life, in reality, where we experience the Truman Show paradox or the experience? Or is it really
why do you
a
guys
figment of our
Are you
imagination?
going to
the dispenser?
Let us leave Spawn.
Like,
Why do you guys hate
yeah, guys, let them out. Guys, let them out.
Actually, what is
hit the
wrong with our
dispensers.
dispensers?
Go make me
Why?
angry.
What's wrong with dispensers? What's wrong with them?
Why are you recording this?
Dispenser, kill my mother.
Listen. I appreciate your recording. I hope it's for a good reason and not for a bad reason. But anyway, I can continue with my monologue. Where were we? Can someone please remind me where we were?
The plot of plutonium and why there wasn't security cameras or something?
The Truman Show paradox. Right. Alright. So, there are a lot of instances where we live through life, right? And there are, like, for example, there are people that when they drive on the street or in the highway, when they pass by a street light, it may go out, and they believe it is some sort of paranormal activity, or someone, or the universe is watching them, right? Well, I do not fully believe this is the case. I believe there is I believe there are two explanations to this event, right? There is either one, it is just pure coincidence, which is very hard to prove, right? It's very hard. It's usually common knowledge, quote unquote, to believe that it is something that is just a coincidence and there shouldn't be anything thought of it. But there's also the other argument that either the universe is watching you versus doing it to you on purpose, which is an interesting look onto things, right? Like, for example, where, certain things happen in your life that you don't think would have been able to happen without some sort of outside influence, which, believe it or not, actually does happen sometimes, but in realistic examples. Like, someone may have done something for you. Someone in their own life may have chosen to do something that day that in, you know, your day, you know, like for example, let's say, you know, you wanted to go to the deli. Sure, you can add me on Steam. You go to the deli, right? And you know, you want to get like a turkey and cheese sandwich, right? You're like, man, I want to get a turkey and cheese sandwich, right? And I appreciate it. You go to, you know, the deli, right? But let's say someone ordered like 12 turkey and cheese sandwiches the day before, right? And they didn't have any time to replenish, right? And that next morning, there was no turkey and cheese to make a turkey cheese sandwich. So you see, it may not be them actively affecting your life, but whether they tried or not, they affected your life in the Truman Show experience. And you know, there are multiple examples of this. Like, for example, let's say someone accidentally drops like a no, that's a bad example. Let's think of a positive example. Let's say someone accidentally left some Chuck E. Cheese tokens, right, somewhere in the Chuck E. Cheese bathroom, right? Now, let's say you were there with family for a birthday, and you go into the bathroom thinking, man, I just gotta use the bathroom. And you go in there, and you find tokens next to the sink. Now, whether you believe it or not, that is someone else's life choices making an impact on yours in a very significant way. Sometimes it's way more significant than non-significant. And it's such an intriguing topic, you know. I could go on for hours with examples. And the question really is, like, is it the universe deciding that these things happen? Or is it really our timelines, our decision life, which make our own individual timelines, connecting with other people's decisions and timelines, creating one whole timeline? Now, if we're following that theory, then in theory, there are an incomprehensible amount of timelines and alternate universes out there. If you think about it, right? Because each life person has their own alternate choices and their own alternate timelines. And by what we have agreed on right here, which I think we've agreed on, that, whether we try or not, all of us somehow in some way have impacted one of his life, either in a large way or a small way. Then by that logic, then whatever timeline we are in, we are infinitely affecting each other's lives over and over and over and over again into infinity, until there's no longer any more choices to make, which is when we cease to exist. And yeah, so basically there will continue to be more timelines as time goes on until time stops.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow.
We must spread your wisdom to the world.
That was right.
Alright, let's go spread this to Blue.
Has anybody else ever wondered if life is just a simulation, or is that just me?
Alright, anyway,
simulation, but you specifically are.
Yeah, unfortunately, fellows, that is going to be it for me, I believe.
See ya.
I think I am going to hop off, but I hope I helped bring some new insight to you today.
Could someone post this on Steam, because I want to be able to re-listen to this later, or like on YouTube?
Honestly, yeah.
Please, if you do, please send it to me, please. Please.
I should have been doing a broadcast right now.
Cool.
Freaking turkey, could you just say something in chat real quick? I just want to screenshot it so I can remember.
Screenshot? What do you want me to say in chat?
That's fine, actually. I just need it.
Okay. There you go. But yeah, I'm variety, pretty much. Everything but demo.
Fair. It's everything. everything pathetic, regrettably.
Everything, understandable. Anyway, I appreciate you guys sitting down and listening to me go on this really large vision, you know, this spiel.
No problem, it was beautiful.
Of, you know, like exploring ourselves.
I think we're all gonna come out of this
appreciate
situation as smarter and stronger.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so too. I hope you guys take from this. Yeah, I hope you guys bring from this an opportunity to explore things in your own perspective and your insight, like I have.
Oh, he
to
wasn't
you
the one
guys
that brought
today.
you hell. That was me. I am the spee. I was the one who did that. I apologize.
Alright, anyway, that is it for me. Good evening to you all.
I will not let you
Farewell.
sully your own mind.
See ya.
Turkey, are you
I will
gonna
not
leave the
let you
VC?
This is the reason I keep VC on. It's so beautiful.
Wow, that was interesting.
I'm so glad I didn't have VC muted today.
Life-changing.
I never mute it because I don't remember how.
That was beautiful.
It really was an experience.
I feel like I've ascended.
So to give you guys some context to what just happened, that's my friend Turkey. We're in a VC right now.
He is beautiful.
We're in a VC right now, and he just saw how long he could go with this, and I don't know why y'all let them go this far, but I mean you did.
No, he was contemplative.
Yeah, honestly, I had fun. I'm going to go to bed for another 2 hours, though.
He's like if those genius thoughts you had in the shower were a person, and you could talk to them and have a philosophical discussion. It's like I was kind of joking about him starting a podcast, but I legit think he should.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, I would.
That would be great.
I would listen to it.
Honestly,
If I
yeah.
was like going to bed or something, or like if I was in the show, it would be relaxing as hell. I mean, you can leave hell.
I mean,
but
you
remember,
can leave.
Hell all.
You can.
Yeah.
You can.
It
You
always-
can.
You
You can try
can't
to
leave
leave hell.
purgatory, but you can leave hell, I guess.
No,
It's
you
always
can leave.
watching.
You can leave this server, but you will never escape hell.
Yeah, and every time you rejoin,
Yes.
there's a good chance that I'll be here.
Honestly, I
can
actually
never
like this
escape.
map. This is honestly a pretty good map. Probably my second favorite besides 2-4.
Loki, can we talk
Sure.
about the best new Halloween map, Molder Grove? Like, if you haven't played Molder Grove yet, go do it. It's so good.
I have not played it.
It's good.